and it's me, Mr. B, back with your Wednesday, June 3rd post. So this will be lesson 4, and it'll kind of serve as a review for some of the topics that we've already talked about so far in this unit. So it'll be a little bit of a review lesson for you with an assignment at the end. So the PowerPoint is very simplified, and I'll go over the worksheets that are associated with it. And it just says we'll have one final assignment to work on before doing an experiment with plate tectonics. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that experiment, but we will do a final wrap-up assignment for this topic. You'll read over the information about the structure of the Earth's crust, as well as plate tectonics. After you're finished reading, you're going to complete a 2-page assignment sheet and asking you questions about both of these topics. You only have to do 2. This should be done on your own, just to make sure that we know you have the understanding. Before you leave, we will also do an exit slip, so we'll have a couple of assignments that you can do. There will be no new lesson on Friday, so that'll give you all the way till Monday before you get a new assignment. So that gives you a little bit more time to work on these 2 things. So having said that, this is just the information. You should already have it from a previous lesson, but if not, it's much closer here to access. You don't have to flip back or look for old lessons to find this information. It's right here for you. So this first page talks about the makeup of the Earth. So the inner core, the outer core, the mantle. We didn't talk about lower and upper. It's all the same part. It's just slightly different temperatures and different makeup. And then the crust. So those make up our 4, technically 5 layers of the Earth. And it talks a little bit about how plate tectonics work. And then on the second page, it goes into talking about the plates and how they move. So what continental drift theory was. The different type of boundaries we can have, minus the transform boundary. This one just focuses on the divergent and the convergent boundaries, and then the history of plate tectonics as well. So these 2 pages are your informational pages for you that will help you with the next assignment, or your previous lessons will have given you some of this information as well. So the first one is you get to pick 2 of these 4 questions, and then you answer them right here. So the questions have to do with plate tectonics as well as the makeup of the Earth. So you can summarize what plate tectonics are and what plate tectonics help to explain. You can draw a labeled model of the Earth with all of the layers and the parts. You can explain the difference between convergent and divergent boundaries and plates, and then draw an example of each. Or you could explain how plate tectonics work and relate to the movement of volcanoes and earthquakes. You don't have to do all 4. You can pick the ones that you can answer the best. You can pick 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 4 and 3, whichever ones you feel like you can answer the best. And then you've brought the space down here to answer them. Just make sure you indicate which questions you picked to answer. That'll make it easier for me when I'm reading, so I don't have to guess early on. And then finally, the exit slip that you have is identify whether each diagram below is an example of a convergent plate or a divergent plate, and then you just have to explain how you know. So is this an example of a divergent or convergent plate? And then how did you know that? And you only have to do 1 of these. It's a repeat. It's the same thing. So you can just pick. You can do the top one. You can do the bottom one. You can use the top one for this first example and the bottom one for this second example. But you only have to answer each question once. You don't have to do these sheets twice. And that'll be all. So again, I'm not posting on Friday, so I'll see you back on Monday for your next lesson. Have a good one, you guys.